afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are joining us from. We are back for day 2 of the Australian Sickle Cell Inaugural Sickle Cell Conference. We are so excited to have a very successful day yesterday, and we are back for a full day today again. To begin with, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of this land on which we work on, even if we're doing this virtually. I pay my respects to the elders past, present, and emerging. So today we are going to continue on with our program. And to begin with, we wanted to show the welcoming video that we had yesterday because of the teething problems we had. So without wasting so much of your time, I'm going to share the welcome video from Hon Greg Hunt that we showed yesterday, and we are going straight into our program.
Well, welcome to the inaugural Sickle Cell Disease Conference for Australia. And I want to acknowledge and congratulate Agnes and Marguerite and Nicole and all of those who are involved in bringing this conference together and representing the needs of the more than 1,000 Australians with sickle cell disease. You know the challenge. You've lived it. You've taken care of your friends and family. There will be sickle cell disease Australians who are present at this conference, and our researchers, our clinicians, all of you. So I want to thank you for that. Now, as we look at this challenge, it's part of a broader picture where we have prioritised rare diseases and rare cancers in Australia. In particular, we've established the National Rare Diseases Plan with more than $3.3 million to focus on, most especially, awareness, diagnosis, treatment, recovery, and breakthrough new medicines and other forms of allowing people to either live with or move beyond their condition. As part of that, one of the most fundamental things is the research which we put into place. Through the Medical Research Future Fund, there's $614 million over 10 years for clinical trials for rare diseases and rare cancers. This is a breakthrough new program, and for sickle cell disease sufferers, it brings forward the possibility of new treatments, of new measures, of new things which can be available to assist. Every day, we see different genetic conditions with different treatments that are being trialled, that are then being made available. So all of these are so fundamentally important. At the same time, there's $500 million over 10 years for the National Genomics Mission under the Medical Research Future Fund. And that mission is focusing again on the same themes of awareness, diagnosis, treatment, recovery, and ultimately breakthrough new medicines and therapies that can lead potentially to cure or to the capacity to live with the disease. These are fundamental opportunities. As part of that, there's Mackenzie's mission, and Mackenzie's mission is about ensuring that carrier screening, genetic carrier screening, is available for every parent over the course of the decade. And at the moment, 10,000 couples are being given access to carrier screening before pregnancy, and that includes, amongst the 1,000 diseases for which they are screening, sickle cell disease. So an incredibly important breakthrough. But then as we look forward, the national plan gives people a chance, a hope to look for ways through for disease, and I encourage you to be part of this, in particular to put forward for the clinical trials, to be engaged with the genomics mission. But also now we have the National Blood Spot application. That program is going through for sickle cell to be included, and I really hope, and I will lend all my weight and authority to doing everything we can to ensure that sickle cell disease is added to the National Blood Spot program. You're great advocates, parents, patients, researchers, clinicians, or just friends. And I want to thank all of you for that work. And this inaugural conference is about hope, and it's about treatment, and it's about the very best sense of taking care of each other.
That's the video that we played yesterday, and I just want to thank everyone for listening in, and hopefully we've got the message, the most important message that we have. There's so many things that we can take out of that. The most important thing for us, I think a win for us, is the newborn screening application that we've put in. And we've been assured by the minister that he's going to put all his efforts, all his weight in to ensure that our application is a success. The application is a 6-step application process. We've gone through the first step. So the next 5 steps are going to still need our work. And we are very glad that, we have the minister's support. But there's also some of the things that we can get out of the information in terms of things that we should be working on as an advocacy group, things like the Mackenzie's mission. It's up to us to tell our community that they're eligible to get free screening in terms of genetics and just finding out if they're sickle cell status before they can have, decide to have a family or decide to be pregnant. There's also the research fund that is encouraged us to participate in. I know it's a long process, but we have board members that can help us through and other organizations to help us through in terms of getting in research and being involved in research. Because as we know, there's not much research happening in terms of sickle cell disease. So I would encourage every one of us to participate. And I just want to thank you again today. But firstly, and I also want to thank our sponsors, Novartis, for sponsoring our conference. I also want to thank Sanofi for sponsoring our conference, but also I wanted to thank the Hematology Society of Australia and New Zealand for supporting our organization as well. We did this deliberately. Being the first conference, we wanted to put it close to the blood meetings, which starts tomorrow. And with their support, we've got the recognition of having a lot of participants participate in this conference. So going forward, we have a few programs that are coming through. At this point, we have to play another video. So I'll get the IT people to actually go through with that. Eddie, please take it up. Thank you.
I remember as a medical student when we learned about the causes of anemia, there was a slide and an explanation about sickle cell disease. And so learning how the genetic, and I'd always been interested in genetic disease, how a genetic change then changed the protein and then the cells were different shapes, and then that would then block the blood vessels and impact the downstream flow. So I do remember that as a medical student. Obviously it was some years before I actually met a patient who had sickle cell disease themselves. Oh, so many impacts. I mean, I love my patients, so that's just a positive impact, just to enjoy seeing patients and caring for them. It's lovely. So the patients transition to me when they're usually finishing high school, usually age 17, 18 or 19. And I like to see them on their life journey. So helping them when they first leave school and are making all these choices, and then helping them through at different stages of life with study or work, or then maybe getting married and then having children. And so I think that's just a positive impact to help people on their journey through life. And I've had a few patients where the management of their sickle cell disease we've had positive changes that's really helped them. So I think that's been positive as well. And every patient is different, and particularly in sickle cell disease compared to other conditions, there's such a variety in how that particular sickle cell disease impacts that particular patient. And so it's really a matter of working out how to help that individual patient.
Hi everyone, I'm Prosper, and here's my wife Dillys, and here's our son Nathan. Nathan is 11 months old, and he was diagnosed with sickle cell disease when he was still in his mom's womb. That was 4 months, I think, and it wasn't an easy one for us, knowing that we did our regular checks with our GP before he was conceived. All we knew is that we were carriers of the sickle cell disease, but we didn't. Our GP didn't give us much advice on what to do or anything. All he said was that the probability of having a child sickle was 1 on 4, which eventually our son is the 1 on the 4 which we're having here. But so far, through prayers and a lot of support from the ASCA group, we've learned a lot about the disease, and with the support we get from Westmead Hospital, like going with him on regular checks, we've got to know about how to detect signs, and he's currently on hydroxyline, which he takes every morning. Hydroxia, which he takes every day. And he has had just 2 crises ever since he was born. I think one was 4 months and the other was around 8 months. So after that, he's been on hydroxyline every day. And I would say ASCA Group has been really helpful for us because there are a lot of information that circulates, and it's nice to know we are not the only parent having a son like Nathan. There are other parents out there having other kids as well. So we've just decided in our mind that he's a normal kid and we don't label him as a child with any illness, because we do believe life itself is not easy. He comes with his ups and downs, and he's here with us, and he does everything any normal child do. Goes on daycare, play, crawl, and it's 11 months now. He's standing. I'm almost giving some footsteps, which before his birthday, which is coming on the 20th of this month, he'll be walking. So I would really say to all parents that are having kids like Nathan that they should find more groups and information on how to manage their kids' case, and shouldn't label their kids as being ill or anything. Like, each child coming is a blessing from God and eventually have a purpose, and we don't know where it's going to take him to. But all we could do as parents is support him and make sure he gets the best of everything in life. So that's the base of our story, and we want to thank the ASCA Group for their hard work they've been doing, especially supporting parents from other backgrounds in Australia. Thank you very much.
Thank you.